Today's show is sponsored by the multiorgasmicmama.com. If lack of confidence, low libido, or guilt and shame around your sexuality are the cause of your bedroom woes, the hot wild sex you never have anymore, or the transition into motherhood that sucked your libido dry, let me help you get your mojo and magnetic feminine spark back. Magic, miracles, total self-love, and multi-orgasmic bliss included. See you at themultiorgasmicmama.com.
What's up, hot mamas? It's Tilly Storm here. And by the way, if you are confused with the name Tilly Storm and you're like, wait, where's Lacey Broussard? I am the same person, but Tilly is just a new and improved version of Lacey. Lacey no longer exists, so I'm Tilly now. I just changed my name, but I've had people get really confused over this, and I do apologize, but there's just no easy way to change your name completely, I have found. But my goodness, can you believe we're on episode 96 of this podcast? Today, I'm starting a new series called the Pleasure and Prosperity series because I have something, it's actually an idea that came to me in November 2019. And finally, this idea has been ready to be birthed into motherfucking reality. Because it's time, okay? I have birthed the Pleasure and Prosperity Mastermind, which is a mastermind for coaches, healers, and therapists that are ready to live a turned-on life on their terms and make the income and the impact that they were born to make on this earth by stepping up their online game. But before I get into details about that, I want to talk to you about the 5 steps to manifest like a motherfucking queen of everything, okay? Because when I learned how manifestation works, that's when I was able to fully surrender and receive even more. And the more that I could surrender and receive, it was like a snowball effect on what I was able to manifest. And many of you always come to me being like, okay, I don't know how to surrender. I can't let go of control. I don't know how to receive what's already there for me. Look, girl, I get you. I have been down that road, I have been on that journey, and I have come out on the other side, okay? I have learned that the less that I do, the more that I receive. And it's really, like, so stupidly simple. It kind of seems like it's too good to be true, but this is just what patriarchy doesn't want women to know. Patriarchy has done literally everything to keep the secrets of manifestation, of surrendering and receiving from women. And that is my true belief, because I was on that hamster wheel. I was on the rat race. I have totally been addicted to overwhelm, and I've been totally addicted to fighting. I've lived at least 20 years of my life from the time I was 16. I'm 36 now. 20 years of my life in fight mode, like fighting for my identity, fighting for my survival, fighting to make a fucking living. And this is coming from a very educated person. Like, I have a master's degree in environmental science. I'm a trained biologist and chemist. And like, it was, so many different steps to get me to this point. But when I finally figured out what I'm here to do in this world, I finally could claim that this is what I'm here to do, and I'm not going to settle for anything less than living a life on my terms and my pleasure. And it seemed like 5 years ago, if you'd asked me what was possible for me, I never in a million years would have thought that where I'm sitting at today could be possible for me. I would laugh at anyone that would tell me that, like, living how I'm living right now could be a possibility for me. So what do I do all day? Well, I meditate half the day. I do jade egg practices and other embodiment practices several times a week. And I have just literally become a junkie in learning how to receive, surrender, and manifest. And then what I do, I share it online with you all. I do the podcast, I serve clients, and that's what I do. And I would have laughed in your frickin' face if you told me that if I did that I could be living a 6-figure lifestyle and making 6 figures a year. Because, I mean, who am I to have that, right? I was raised in a very conservative religious environment, and it was a damn struggle for my identity to be, being raised someone that I completely was not. You know, how I got raised, it was great and honorable and everything, but it's not who I was. And it took me forever to find that. Going through college and getting all of these degrees to, you know, unconsciously make my parents proud and to do what I thought I had to do to make money in this world. It was a damn struggle, okay? And I never actually got where I wanted to go with it because I graduated from my master's degree in 2008. That was the year of the recession. Yeah, the recession of 2008. And there were no jobs in my field anymore. So I ended up getting a job as a city planner. So I went from being a city planner who was freaking harassed by her boss for pumping breast milk for my kid. So they tried to fire me. My boss tried to fire me for breast pumping in my office with closed door, and he told me that I needed to do it in the bathroom. And that was the day that I drew a line in the sand and I said, I will never be subject to that shit again. Like, I will figure out a way to live a life on my terms, to do what I love and make a great living doing it. Okay. Now that didn't really happen for several years though, because I ended up getting married and being a domesticated housewife turned divorcee. I was getting paid shit as a doula. I was a doula for 7 years and I was charging the most amount of money in my area and I was still getting paid shit and making hardly any money. I was a mom and stepmom of 4 kids. So, you know, I have my 2 kids now, but I had 2 stepkids at the time. I was driving Uber every weekend night for an entire year right before I started this podcast in 2017, late 2017. So I spent every Friday night, every Saturday night driving Uber to help support my family. And I somehow, over the past 2.5 years, have been able to turn that all around from, you know, struggling that much, going through a divorce, having to sell my house because I was about to lose it, to moving to a new city, to getting my kids in a new school. All of this happened within like 4 months' time. And from that moment forward, I was like, well, I don't have another out here. I have to figure this shit out. So I went from that to being a 6-figure making holistic sex coach and now business mentor, living a freaking turned on life on my terms, being able to travel the world when I want, when Corona is not keeping us from our travel plans, which hopefully that will ease up soon. And sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, damn, how in the world did I create all of this in 2 years? Like a little over 2 years. And I think of like, who should I thank for that? I'm like, actually, I have nobody to thank but my own damn self, because I chose to step up and be the queen of manifesting the life that I want. And that is basically the only reason I am where I am today. So how did I go from being a very scared, newly divorced housewife with a shit ton of divorce debt to a sole income owner, debt almost paid off, traveling the world when I can, and living a turned on life on my terms where I only work 3 days a week? Did you know that? I only work 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. I do whatever the fuck I want. Sometimes that is work because I love working so much that that's what I want to do, but I don't have to. Okay, so how did I do that? I did it by becoming the queen of manifesting. And here are the 5 steps to take to manifest whatever you want in your life. The first is that you have to learn how to drop into your body and be present. Yes, dropping into your body and being present, something so many of us strive to do, we're challenged by greatly. You know, going to yoga class and just like being still in Shavasana every time I go to yoga class. Not that we can go right now, but you know, when we were able to all go to yoga class, it's amazing when they give you, some of the teachers will give you the time after. They'll step out of the room and you can just leave whenever you want. And I always see people just leaving straight away. Like they don't take even a minute to lie in Shavasana and do nothing, because, you know, a lot of these people just have such a hard time being still and not doing anything. It's so challenging. I know from personal experience because I am one of those people that has a really hard time doing nothing. But I have learned to drop into my body and to feel it and to be present even when I don't want to, or even when it scares the shit out of me. Because when I do that, that's when all of my best ideas come. That is when I'm able to rest and rejuvenate and really sink into the present moment. And if you can't do that, if you can't drop into your body and just be present with it, you're never going to have the creative inspiration to be able to drive a business as far as you really want it to go. Okay, the second thing to becoming the queen of manifesting is that, oh my goodness, and can I tell you how much I resisted doing this for so long? Doing future journaling in the present. So you're looking at your future self, but you're writing your future reality in the present moment. I am not a writer. There's a reason I do podcasts, y'all, and not blogs. Okay. I do not enjoy writing, although people tell me I'm really great at it. Sure. I just don't enjoy it. And journaling and writing is just not something I did as a kid, and I don't enjoy it. So I had lots and lots of resistance to doing journaling exercises. Anytime coaches would give me journaling exercises, I'm like, God damn it, why am I doing this? Like, not my idea of fun. A lot of women love this, and I think that's great because it is super powerful. It's just something that I've always been challenged by. I'd rather do something, right? I like doing things. I like moving my body and doing things more. But when I started future journaling in the present, that really helped me drop into the felt sense reality, like what it would be like to have what I want right now. And I would experience massive shifts. Like I could tell, like my body would relax. I'd become really present super quickly, just by writing down what my life would be like when for a long time I was writing, when I'm making 20K months consistently and living with my king, I feel, I do, and I am. And that was my journal prompt for weeks. And it's a super powerful practice because it puts you in that feeling state to choose how you want to feel now, because that feeling state, however you're feeling right now, is what you are actually creating for your future. So if you're feeling like shit right now, well, then you're attracting more shit. And if you're feeling really good right now, then you're attracting more things that are going to make you feel good. So if you can put yourself in that state now, that's going to expedite like your journey into manifesting and creating what you want. Okay, the third thing that I had to do to become the queen of manifesting is put myself in all 5 senses reality of having what I want right now and staying in it as long as possible. So the 5 senses I talked about in another episode on pleasure mindfulness. So this was a really important practice for me. When you can drop into all 5 senses, it's impossible for you to not be present. If you want to manifest and be the queen of manifesting, if there's anything you take away from this episode, is that you have to be present and choose the high vibe emotions that you want to be experiencing all of the time. But if you can do that and bring in all 5 senses, then it makes it super easy to be present, because it's impossible to not be present and be in all 5 senses at the same time. So what do you see, hear, feel or touch, taste, and smell when you have what you want? And when you can put yourself in that state and you can feel it is real right now, and you can hold that for at least 30 seconds, then you are signaling to your body, not only is it safe, but you can have this. Like, it's actually possible. You're giving your brain a chance to develop new neural pathways to make that a reality. And your brain will unconsciously seek out things to prove that as your reality. And that's how manifestation works, okay? So the fourth way that you can become the queen of manifesting is to activate your sexual energy and use it to empower you through action steps. So I have talked on the podcast before about using your sexual energy for creativity. So really opening your sacral chakra, which is all about the emotional and the physical pleasure of life. Like, if you don't have an activated and woke sexual energy, then you're going to feel depleted in every single area of your life. And it makes manifesting anything seem damn near impossible because you don't have the energy to manifest, okay? Your sexual energy is the way that you can become a self-sustaining fuel of energy to create and to take the actions to manifest. I see so many women business owners, they're like all like, oh, I run my business from my feminine. Well, good on you. But guess what? You also need your masculine, because without your masculine, like charging through and really getting the actions done in your business that need to fucking be done and having the structure and the strategy to do it, it's not going to happen. So you can be in your feminine all you want, but without your masculine on board too, you're not going to have a sustainable business, and you're not going to make consistent whatever you want to make every month. Like, it's just fucking impossible. Having both on board, but you do that by activating your sexual energy, okay? Because you need your sexual energy to fuel you through the manifestation process, because manifestation is not just about sitting back and meditating all day. It's also about taking action. And without the energy to take the action, you're not going to be able to do it, or you're going to feel like you're burning out. And this is why activating your sexual energy is vital, because you don't run out. If you're constantly refueling your sexual energy, if you have a self-pleasure practice, if you're constantly in touch with your sexual energy and cultivating your sexual energy, harnessing it, then you will always have a source of fuel available to you, and you're not going to burn out. Okay, the fifth step to being the queen of manifesting is to constantly ask yourself, how good can this get? How good can this moment right now possibly get? How good can it possibly be? When you stop getting, when you stop the thoughts about like, I should be doing this, or what if I were doing this, the shoulds, the coulds, the woulds, the ifs, all of those things. When you get out of that thinking and that mindset, then, and you, by shifting into like, okay, how can I make this better? How good can this possibly be? You open up and you shift your entire energy system to seeking out the things that bring in more pleasure into your life. So pleasure fuels prosperity, right? This sexual energy. Without an activated sexual energy and connection to your pleasure, it's really difficult to keep your mind and going towards pleasure and in a positive direction, because the mind wants to keep you back. It wants to hold you back where it knows that you're safe. But to break out of that safety, the perceived safety net, and to really up level and get where you really want to go, you've got to start to move forward in the positive direction. Okay, where's the pleasure in this? How can I make this more pleasurable? How good can this possibly be right now? And so that is the fifth step to being the queen of manifesting, is really having the right mindset to all of this. Because if you're sitting back with the what ifs and the shoulds, the coulds, the woulds, you're not getting anywhere. Okay. And that is literally how you manifest anything you want. So I'm going to review them real quick. Number 1, learn how to drop into your body and be present. Number 2, do future journaling in the present moment. Number 3, put yourself in all 5 senses reality of having what you want right now and staying in as long as possible. Number 4, activating your sexual energy and using it to create and empower you through action. And number 5, constantly asking yourself, how good can this get? How good can this moment right now possibly be? Now, I want to help you learn how to be the motherfucking queen of manifesting too, because I am not special. I am no different than anyone listening to this podcast. I am a white woman, and that is my privilege, I suppose, but honestly, I didn't have a lot of privileges. I don't have people to fall back on for money. When I went through the divorce, I did not have rich parents. I did not have rich aunts or uncles that could help me out. No, I didn't have any safety nets, absolutely none. And I didn't even have a credit card because I was already in so much debt that I didn't have access to that. It was just, no, whatever I make is whatever I make. So I had to become the queen of manifesting some serious shit. So I'm really not different than anyone else in regards to, like, you look at me and you think, oh, how does she do it? You know, I can't be like Tilly there. No, you can. You really can. You just got to want it. So I had that desire and I had the want to, and I wasn't going to give myself an out. I wasn't available to play small in my life anymore. I'd been through so much shit in my adult life already. I'd been divorced twice by the time I was 33. Like, I was fucking done, y'all. I was like, nope, I am no longer available to play small in my life. I'm no longer available to accept scraps from someone. I'm no longer available to accept scraps out of my life. I'm 33. I have 2 kids, and I'm going to figure this shit out, and I'm going to make it work, because I'm going to be that mom that shows them how to live a life on their terms, doing what they love and making a damn good living doing it. So, as you know, I started this podcast in my biz at the lowest point in my life. But to play big, I had to enlist a lot of help from a lot of different places. I had, in the very beginning, I had a dating coach, I had a trauma coach, I still have a somatic experiencing coach. I've had several business coaches. I've done all sorts of business trainings before. I've spent at least 40 grand in personal development over the last 4 years. So I had all of that just to get to where I am today. And I would have done about anything to have found a mastermind of some sorts to offer all of those things in one, so that I could grow my business in a sustainable way that really did honor my rhythm and my body wisdom, that really was a sustainable growth pattern. Because I see all these freaking business coaches out there like, oh, make six figures in so many days. And it's like, shut up. You know, like, that's not how life works a lot of times. Some people just get damn lucky. That's cool. But if you want to really build a firm foundation of having the inner ecology to support you in business growth, like having the embodiment training to get your body on board with your brain so you're not fighting each other, like that's what this mastermind is for. So I would have done anything for something that offered all of these, like the embodiment work to get me through the blocks to showing up as big as I really wanted. But my body just did not feel safe to be that big and to be that bold in life. Something that offered business structure and strategy to give me what I needed business-wise, just like the knowledge of how to get to the next level, and the deep inner work to integrate and align all parts of me to get on board with the vision that I had for my life. So that is the place that the Pleasure and Prosperity Mastermind was born out of, a desire to offer to other coaches, healers, therapists, all 3 of these things in one: embodiment, biz structure and strategy, and the inner work. So this is a 4-month container for coaches, healers, therapists, or any other service-based, mission-driven business to take their business online and to start showing up in a bigger way, so they too can live a turned-on life on their terms, making the impact and making the income and the impact that they know they are here to create and to make. So if you are ready to activate your queen of manifesting and take your business and impact to the next level with my support, I would love for you to go check out the Pleasure and Prosperity Mastermind page. You would need to apply by May 15th, and you can go do that at themultiorgasmicmama.com/pleasure-and-prosperity-mastermind. So themultiorgasmicmama.com/pleasure-prosperity-mastermind. And you can check out all of the info and click that button to apply, and we will get on a no pressure call to talk about whether that program is right for you or not. And next week I will be back with another amazing episode of the Pleasure and Prosperity series. And the next 2, I'm just going to give you a little hint. They're going to be on the art of receiving and surrendering. Yes, even more about those things. Can't wait to share them with you. All right, Hot Mama, you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.